Hi, my name's James White and I'm the UK's leading prospect conversion expert. I've been sharing some thoughts around my 12-stage model and how sales success is very similar to dating over the course of the last few weeks. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what you can do once you've built that initial rapport and attraction with your prospect to get to know them more effectively and hopefully work with them in the future. Let's take a look at the video and look at the key aspects when it comes to getting to know your prospect and seeing if they're a fit to work with you. So we've covered in previous videos how important it is to build that initial rapport and attraction. And if you followed the steps I gave you in the last video, you'll have hopefully clarified how positive the first meeting was, and you'll have got to the stage where your prospect said, yeah, I'm ready to have another conversation with you. So when this happens, and when we're in this stage, it's again so easy for us as salespeople to focus on saying about us at this point. And invariably, when we do that, it means that chances are we're going to be in a position where the prospect still feels they're being sold to or maybe not ready to be sold to, and we push them back in the process. I talk my stage 5 all about identifying the wants and wishes and needs of that person. Yeah, they're going to probably ask some questions around us because it's their time as well. But the focus in this stage is all around identifying more about them. And the key thing that I say you've got to use effectively here are the right questions. We'd have asked questions in our first session, but again, these questions in this next stage in the meeting are also really important. It's about us really getting under the skin of the first meeting was maybe just getting an understanding of who the prospect was and a bit more about them. But these questions are all about probing deeper in the prospect's world and find out what's going on for them. It's really using questions such as, in the last meeting, John, we talked around how such and such was a real challenge for you. Can you tell me more about that? Tell me why that's proven to be the case. Or you mentioned last time that you really want to be in a position where you grow the revenue by 20% over the next year. How are you going to achieve that, Sally? What you've then got are the questions that you can ask where you really try and understand and get to know that prospect. And the other key words that we use when it comes to this session are about probing and about understanding. If we use the right questions to really then ask about the prospect, what's going on in their world, what based upon the needs and wants that they have and the problems they've got, and we start to probe a bit more around those areas. You mentioned that that's a challenge for you. Can you shed a bit more light on that? Or you've mentioned that that's something you really want to get resolved. Tell me what steps you're taking to make that happen. By asking those type of questions and probing and really listening to the prospect and what's going on in their world, it does two things for us. First, it enables them to talk and share what they're feeling, which is for them is really important because they feel they're being listened to. But the benefit for us is we start to hear what's really going on for them, and we can then, if we're clever as salespeople, identify the bits to use in those conversations that can enable us to get the results we want. For example, you might find that when you talk to a prospect, you ask them a question around a certain service. They might mention to you, oh, we were interested in that, but we had a bad experience in the past with someone of a similar nature to you. Most salespeople might think, oh, I'm not going to talk about that. But by probing effectively and saying, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Tell me what happened. What went wrong with that provider? What did they do that didn't work for you? You can not only identify what was really key to the prospect in the environment, but you can also then start to see and learn from those experiences and what you would need to do in order to be able to get that business and to be able to show the prospect that you're not like that previous company that they may have worked with. The key thing that I talk to all of the business customers and prospects and people I work with is this element of understanding. In sales, it's so essential that we understand our prospects effectively. Stephen Covey talks around seek first to understand to then be understood. And if we really get to know them, what's driving them, what's going on in their world, again, 70% of the time is them talking and telling us what's happening. Not only can it enable us to really get to know them more effectively, and it will help build a better rapport, but at the end of it, we can really start to understand if they're a good fit for us to work with us. By understanding what drives them, what really makes them buy, what are the key factors when they purchase, what are the key issues for them, what makes them annoyed, what makes them happy, what drives their emotions, by asking the right questions, probe it in a subtle way. This isn't about interrogation. This isn't about putting a spotlight on them and saying, tell me more about that. But in a gentle, soft way, tell me more about that. Or, oh, you mentioned this. What happened? You'll be able to understand the prospect and really get to know them, build a relationship with them and show that you care. And modern day sales is all around service and understanding, not just selling what you've got. So if you can focus on doing these elements and understanding by asking the right questions and then probing when you hear things, but also focus on your sales process. We're about getting to the next stage in the sales process. There will come a point in time in the meeting when they might say to you, well, we've met a couple of times now, John, tell me a bit more about you. You can then start to say, look, I'm really happy to share more information around what we do, but just that I don't share the right information. What's key for you to hear? What's really important for you? We can listen to them, we can understand them, and then we can hopefully say, look, we've talked in it, had a great discussion here. I'd love to continue on the conversation. The next thing we do is this, and move them to the next stage in your sales process, which will hopefully help you continue to build the rapport with them and move them further to becoming a customer. Get to know the prospect, ask the right questions, probe in the right areas, and get to really understand them. Put yourself in their shoes, really try and think like them. And if you do that, I can assure you it's going to help you see if they're a fit, and more importantly, be in a position where you can then start to work with them and build that relationship so that they feel they can trust you, that you can help them, and that you can make their world a better place. Do that, and it's going to give you the right chance to do the business that you want to do. My name's James White. I'm the UK's leading prospect conversion expert, and I hope this has helped you think about the way in which you can engage with your prospects at the next stage. Thanks for watching the video. If you love it, share it with your colleagues and friends, like the video and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on the next video that we're going to share, which is all around seeing if you're a fit for your prospects. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to share more videos with you soon.